Hello and welcome to another edition of Experience Marshfield. Today I'm very excited. We have Becky Brown with Versity Blood Center. We're very excited to have you here and learn all about it, so welcome.
Thank you very much for having us.
So this is a very, very interesting business and such a worthy cause and needed cause. But before we get to that, tell us a little bit about you and how you got to where you are now.
All right. My job history, I actually started in the pharmaceutical industry. So I love that field, being able to help people feel connected to people and solve, some of their issues, health problems that they were having. So in a roundabout way, I ended up with the Blood Center of Wisconsin over 3 years ago, and this job is really important, and I'm extraordinarily passionate about it. My dad has had quite a few heart attacks and bypass surgeries, so I know that my dad is here as a result of the generous gift of blood from somebody. So I feel good each and every day that I'm doing a small part in saving somebody's life.
Wow. It's always means so much more when there's something personal there behind it. So you bring up a good point. So I kind of want to go there with you because it's a lot of times when people go to give blood, they're very gracious in giving the blood, and they give is that typically a pint?
Yep.
That they get about
one
that?
Pint, yep.
And which is very, very nice of them to do, and many give a lot, but many times a recipient that's had a bypass or something else. There is a lot of donations that need to take place to fill that one surgery.
Absolutely. I can speak to a couple that have happened recently where there have been liver transplants that have used 30, 60 plus units of blood. You never know when there's going to be an issue with bleeding, something like that. So I think it's really important to stress, how you may need multiple blood drives, multiple donations to save one person's life.
And so with your blood centers, are there people where they can go to a blood center?
Absolutely.
And you've got those, I guess, brick and mortar, but you also do blood drives where you go out to businesses and schools and things like that. Tell us about that. Absolutely.
We do have a donor center here in Marshfield, right on Central Avenue. They are open every day except Tuesday and Sundays. So donors can walk in, schedule an appointment, and do a donation right at the donor center. As well, we have mobile drives that are constantly running, usually 5 days a week, sometimes 6, around the area. Most of the state of Wisconsin is being covered with a blood drive, so it's very important. Schools are extraordinarily important for us. We do Marshfield High School here, and they always have a very nice blood drive for us and do a great job. So it's really important to teach kids right off the bat the importance of giving back and the importance of blood donations.
And so when we've got our blood center right here, we also have a major medical facility right here.
Correct.
So does all the blood, I don't know how to say this, does all the blood that's been drawn here stay here, or does it go, are there specific purposes for somebody with some type of blood?
Right. I can't tell you that the blood that's donated in Marshfield is going to stay at Marshfield, but we do supply all of the blood products that go to the Marshfield Medical Health Systems. So any of the Marshfield surrounding hospital systems, Gunderson hospitals, I believe we're in over 64 hospitals that we are the sole provider of blood products within the state. So there are definitely platelet donors that donate regularly at our Marshfield Donor Center, that their products are being used specifically at Marshfield Health Systems.
So when people donate platelets, is that the same type of process where you start an IV or whatever?
They do. It's the same thing. They're done on a special machine that we have at the donor centers, and it's a longer process. So those donors, we are forever grateful to them, because that's a product that's really going to those patients that really need the products the most. So It's a wonderful thing.
So when somebody goes into the local blood center and they want to donate blood, obviously, what's the process that maybe somebody's watching this show that wants to donate blood? When they get there, what's the process?
First of all, we'll check them in, and we do what's called a teching process. So we do a medical history with the donor that comes in. They will do blood pressure. We'll check hemoglobin, pulse rate, those type of things, just to make sure that they qualify and the ranges that are acceptable. If it's a younger donor, we check height and weight as well, just to make sure that we're making the process as safe as possible for our younger donors. And then after they pass, the health history questions, they'll ask if they're on any medications, those type of things. A bunch of health history questions that they ask. Then after that point, and they've been cleared to donate, then once they get into the donor chair, the process takes anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes.
Is that right? Just that quick?
Yes. So it's really a simple thing.
And then afterwards, don't they get a cookie? Or
They get cookies, they get juice, they
get breakfast.
Lots of snacks there. So, and homemade cookies at the Marshfield Donor Center. So that's it's a good thing. So it's a very simple process, and I just wish more people would take the time to do it.
So you bring up a very, very good point, because are we having, especially being a city with a major medical facility,
right?
Are there enough donations to keep up with the demand?
We always need blood donations, and we had a very difficult last winter, if you think about it, with the, as we say, polar vortex. Donations were down. We had to cancel a lot of drives because of weather, and we start recouping our losses, so to speak, and we start getting into a better place. And then we've got the summer months, which are always difficult for us to collect. Schools being out, colleges being out, people are on vacation, and that is not in the forefront of what people are thinking about at that time. So we always need donations. We're now heading into the holiday season again, which is also critical weeks for us to collect, because people are spending time with family and friends and shopping and different things, and they just don't, it's not one thing that everybody thinks about doing.
Right. So tell me then, what is the most needed type of blood that you have?
Well, we obviously need all types of blood, but O positive is the largest percentage of the population. Somewhere around 38% of the population is O positive. However, 7% of the population is O negative, and O negative is the universal donor. So that is the blood type that can be given to anybody before they're typed. So it's carried on the Flight for Life, it's carried on emergency vehicles. So although we need all blood types, specifically O blood types are extraordinarily important for us to, keep that supply at all times.
So this is such a great thing, and we're giving the gift of life, especially with everything that we've talked about today. Right. Is there any way that the person that goes in, and we really hope you'll consider going in at the blood center right there on Central, but is there anything that they get afterwards so that they know, I gave this gift, and know where their gift went? Right.
We have started our marketing department realizing that the individual that donates is really giving a part of themselves to somebody else. So we want, although we can't tell them specifically what patient it went to, we can share with them where their blood went. So it's really a great feeling. I know I've opened my emails up a couple times after donating, and it'll tell you where your blood goes. So it'll say you saved a life at, and it'll list the hospital name. So, there have been a couple times that I've got it and it's gone to Children's Hospital. And to me, I mean, that's an amazing thing to know that, there's somebody, a little child out there that has more days with his family.
And they got the gift of life.
Exactly.
And in areas where there's college kids, college kids get paid
Right.
For the platelets or whatever. They love that.
Well, we've been running into some competition with where they do pay for you to donate plasma. We don't pay for it. But when you donate at one of those centers, it does not go to a patient that's in a hospital. So anything that we receive is cleared, and it goes directly to a patient's need. So.
And so, are there any restrictions out there for people? For instance, as I told you earlier when we were talking before, I just had knee replacement surgery.
Right.
Everything went great. I feel like a teenager again, which is great. And I'm going to have another one done in another month. So there's a 3-month period there. Can somebody like me do that during that time, or is it best to wait until after all the surgeries are done?
It would be best to wait till your surgeries are done. We do have a medication deferral list, which is on our website, which is Versity. It's VERSITI.org. They can go on there to see if they would perhaps be on any medications that they'd be deferred for. We also have some travel deferrals, which would be for a period of usually 6 months if they've been in an area where there may be Zika or some other, tick-borne disease. So you can always go onto that website and look, but yeah, definitely there are periods of time that people should not be donating, and yours is one if you're having surgery. We did send something out. I saw it on the Versity Instagram page, as a matter of fact, and it said that of 100% of the population, 37% of the population is actually eligible to donate. And of that 37%, somewhere between 6 and 7% actually donate. So, and that donor, the average amount of time that they donate a year is 1.2, I believe it was. So, it's when you look at it that way, it's really needed, and I don't think people realize until perhaps they need it or a loved one needs it, the importance of it.
And realistically, what better gift to give somebody?
Exactly. A
random act of kindness that you don't even know, and literally, not to be over dramatic, but you're saving a life.
Exactly. So we always say with every whole blood donation, you have the potential to save up to 3 lives. So. Wow. It's amazing, and now that we are heading into the season of Thanksgiving and Christmas, I mean it's a wonderful gift to be able to give somebody. Which would be another day with family and friends, and that's something that you can't put a price tag on.
No. Now, can I ask you, on your blood drives that you do you? How long do those take to coordinate? So if somebody was watching today and maybe they want to have a blood drive at their business, how long do those typically take to coordinate?
Well, right now our schedule's pretty full for the remainder of the year, which is great. But we have already, if you can believe it or not, have started booking into 2021. So
really?
We really are trying to get ahead of the game, and because we need to be able to assure our hospital partners that we are going to have the blood supply that they need when they need it. So we're really trying to work ahead and get things booked out as far as we can. I've got dates open still in 2020. First quarter is pretty booked right now, but we can always work magic and try to work someone in. But what we're asking, ideally to get a blood drive going, is that they have interest from approximately 30 to 35 employees, if they're opening it up to the public, just so we know that we're going to send our resources out and have a successful blood drive. So, but from that point, we provide all the marketing, we provide all the materials, the staff, snacks for donors afterwards. So it's a pretty easy process once we get the ball rolling. And
so I have one last question for you before we go. This is a great cause, and it's something that's needed, and really just hit me how you really are giving something where you save a life, and I think that's very important. Certainly people would want to work at a blood center. How would, if somebody wanted to do that, how would they go about doing that?
Okay, they can go, and as a matter of fact, we are growing our Marshfield team, and we are looking for a truck driver, and we're also looking for some phlebotomists. training is not necessary. We do provide training for anybody that would be interested in it, so don't let that stop you from coming in. But they can go to our website, which is versity.org, and there is a career tab on there, so they can go on there, they can apply directly online, and we would love to grow the Marshfield team and grow our ability to bring in more products for those patients that we serve at Marshfield.
That's incredible. Becky, it's been a pleasure having you here. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
A number I just heard was staggering. Out of 100 people, only 37 folks actually qualify to be able to give blood. And then out of that, only 6 to 7% of the people actually do. If you would please consider giving blood if you can, and go to versity.org and our local Marshfield Blood Center, your gift of your blood is giving life to someone. It would really be appreciated. You can go to versity.org. The Blood Center is right there on Central. I hope you will consider it. Thank you again for watching another edition of Experience Marshfield.